I want my water. All right. Oh, already started. Yeah, it's nothing to do anyway. Yeah, nothing. Nothing. Okay. Where's it at? Cool. Only 3 people. Yeah, I want to go back to sleep. I'm glad I didn't borrow. I'd be so salty right now. That's such a wasted borrow. I'm also glad I didn't buy. Huh. Six. Yeah. Oh well. Bruh, look at my portfolio right now. I'm down 35 on SPY and down 15 on here. All the money I made yesterday, it just got canceled out. So I'm exactly where I was before. Or not exactly. I'm a little under. Oh well. Yeah, but there's no play today. Market's back to being dead. Um Study day. Would I recommend a study? I'm also kind of slightly salty about is the most recent podcast. I forgot what we're calling it. Day trading in the making. Ducks Traders podcast. Yeah. Okay. So the most latest Stevens podcast. If you check it out, you'll see Jimmy there. And you know, he has great questions. He definitely was on the side of beginners and traders and stuff like that. But like every question he asked made me cringe. Just because like I felt so like I feel like it took me the entire first year to get the answer to some of those questions. And I had to go over like, you know, the DVDs like 7 times, and the conferences at least 5. And then swallow my pride and everything in between just to ask Steven like a hint in that direction. And now he just like all that just in one podcast. And I'm just like, it's that easy, huh? I'm just like, and I'm like, oh man, I'm on the next podcast. What kind of questions am I gonna ask? I was like, he just raised the bar up here, and like now I have to. I don't have to, but you know my temperament says I have to. I have to one up him. But I don't want to one up him in that way. They also said he had a scary face, so I'm thinking about coming on there with like an afro. That's the only way to win. Like that's what it's like in my small world. But yeah. Hi. You are so handsome today. Oh, thank you. Um I can't even see my face on this. This is fine. Yeah, so there's nothing today. If something does pop up, the chances of it actually having enough extension to short, and then having the right float and market cap are pretty low. going over what happened yesterday, there was IINN and KSCP, and then FGI. I also put two puts at like two separate strike prices, just trying to test out options. And I'm out of the money, like a lot. But also have a decent strike date that doesn't, activate for like another 2 months. So I'm not that worried about it. Max, I lose 8K, which is horrible. But like for my account size, I think I'll be able to use that as an incentive to make money on the plays that actually may pop up within that 1 to like 3 months. So I have one that's like set for the beginning of April. It's actually like March 31st, and another one for like May 20th. I'm not gonna hold it the whole time, or at least I hope I don't have to. But yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to use what I got. But back to what I was saying. Mark is dead. What kind of questions do you think we should have for the podcast? Because I'm going to do it Thursday, which is like 2 days from now. And so I think I might as well, just look at some questions that that people actually might want to hear. I have some already that were sent to me when I asked in a different place. But yeah, that's how I'm going to start this day, because there's nothing to trade. And then the more I look, the more, nothing's even there. I don't even feel FOMO. But also, I still don't want to look at this. Like, you disgust me. How? Okay, I'm done. Questions for podcast. See what the chat's doing. PC. Oh, what is this? BFRI. Oh, me and BFRI got beef too. Let's put that back. There's no volume. I'm okay with that. Like the market cap to float. Yeah, no volume, no extension. BFRI. Let's see what you're up to. They should have a lot of resistance. If I remember. Oh no, it's all up in the 9s and 10s now. I'm probably thinking back in this early stages. And that would have already been canceled by the run up from before. Well, it actually took less volume. Nah, it's still not useful. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. CREX. The price is too low for me to be like comfortable. CREX. I'm gonna put it in my watch list to see how it develops. Same thing with BFRI. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. What was the other one? Yeah, the last one. When there's a lot of stuff I need to keep my eye on. TSLA, BFRI, CREX. I'm gonna put Amazon on there. SPY. No, not IN. Anything else can be used as the bounce short? I'll just check out my trades later. But did you trade yesterday? Yeah. I traded KSCP. I originally planned to like wait for some type of extension to like go into a short, but I had some problems with TradeZero. At the end of the day, I could have just called them, and then the problem would get taken care of right away. And I actually did that like 20 something minutes ago, and so like that's the reason I was like slightly late. Yeah. I always keep forgetting to put the thing in the chat, or the off topic at least. But I forgot what to say. Yeah. So yesterday I went long at 1980 and then covered at 23 after a halt. Yeah. So it actually went to 24. I covered or put in a market order in the halt or a good to cancel and got out at like 23, like upper 23. Forgot how to read this. It's been that long. Like we haven't been traded for so long that I forgot how to read my own. Okay, 23.59. That's trash. For like it's good. Yeah, I'm just leaving it at that. I'm still salty about this. I'm just like all that, just give it away for. Okay, it actually, it's good. It's good. Mm. Okay, yeah. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I see something in the chat. What are they talking about? It was another thing. PY. No, that's already gone. IMPP. Okay, so this is actually pretty low. I'll still keep a watch on it. This actually just went down. IMPP. Nope. INDO. Okay. I'm just looking for stuff to put on my my watch list for like a future bound short. Even though 60 million is not a lot, at least it has like 2 days. I'd still want this to, go down a little bit more and then probably pop up like Thursday or Wednesday, even like sometime next week. The closer we are to that resistance, the more it's actually going to affect it. But I also want some type of like minimum extension up to that point. What's another one? Nah, oh, We gotta wait for it to catch volume 2. There's another thing. Oh yeah, the question. That's what it was. I spent way too much time last night watching YouTube videos. Like, they were all like trading videos, of course. But stayed up way too long. Question for the podcast. What psychological strategy you use on yourself while trading? Which mistakes you Which psychological strategies you use on yourself while trading? Which mistakes you made in the past and how did you deal with them? Okay. Those are good. The second one kind of sounds pretty general. Which mistakes you made in the past and how did you deal with them? Oh, but the category of psychological mistakes that you used on yourself, which is a form of deception. Okay, I can already answer those questions for him. Yeah, I kind of want to see what he's gonna say, like live, or not live, but yeah, like it's funny because the moment that you see in this podcast, like it's very genuine. Like this is actually what it's like. But the thing is, getting me to that point where I can ask questions like that, I have to like reject myself like 30 times to even ask a question like that. And so when I see him do that, I'm just like, shameless. And you remember he was saying something about, oh, I followed his trades like, like blindly almost. I'm just like, Brett, like, no comment. Like anything I say, it would go towards talking shit, which I'm really good at. But I forgot what I was about to say. Those TZ guys have the thickest NYC accent. Oh my gosh! Like in person, they're even better. Like I think, like I just got done talking with one of them because I couldn't open my account for like at least 18 hours. And I thought it was eventually going to solve itself. It didn't. But this is what I say. Yeah, first thing when like I heard the guy, I have this bad habit of mirroring like the person in front of me, and if the wrong context is there, it kind of looks like I'm mocking them. And so I'm just like, hello, sir. This is my account number. I can't get into my client portal. Can you help me out? And he's just like, yeah, boss, wait for me. I'll see what I can do. And like, he's not saying like, what are you, nuts? Or like anything like that. But automatically I'm just like, I know which one this is. It's like, they're all really nice people. Like nice people, but like, I don't know how to talk without talking shit. Like, I love assholes because they're the most honest people. I also want a New York hot dog now. But I need to go back to bed. That's what needs to happen. I didn't even put my headphones on or the music. Okay, there we go. More questions. A question for the podcast could be, if you are following the strategies that Dux does too, why aren't you being as profitable as he is? Oh, that's easy. Because people, spending money is a skill. Listening is a skill. There's certain beliefs and values that skew your perception. Steven can tell you gold, and then you can perceive it as silver. Steven can tell you gold, and you can perceive it as bronze. And then it keeps going like that. And it's all based off of to your knowledge. And like that's how I always saw it. Because he was telling me gold like over 7 years ago. But back then I'm just like, I understand its value. But in my hands, it's copper. Yeah, I'm really excited, but I'm also just like, when I have genuine reactions with him, it's similar to the podcast, but it's a lot more. Even though he's like the ideal, the person you're supposed to be aiming for, I have impatient. Yeah, what do you call it? Poor patience, poor listening skills, and some one-upping kind of impulsive, slightly naive, overbearing part of myself. And with Steven, like I bully him like in a certain way, but he only lets me get away with it when he's just like, yeah, easy. Like, I know Dontez for a while, so let me just like say these. But on camera though, like he knows he can't do that. So I don't know. I don't want to have too much fun with it. So I need to have some preset questions to go in there. Because if I go in there, like, it's just gonna be mostly cussing, mostly just like us having dead fish eyes, like staring at each other, and I got a big smile, and I'm just like, yeah. But what's the difference between you two? Okay. Oh yeah, he gonna roast the fuck out of me. Well, I already know that's happening. He actually didn't roast Jimmy as much, and I think that was mostly because he asks quality questions. Like, I really want to watch the podcast again, but this time actually write something down. Because like as I'm watching it way too late at night, and then I have so much dopamine when like he's asking all the right questions, and I'm just like, these are the questions we asked him over a whole year. Like I couldn't help feeling robbed in some type of way, or not robbed, but like, yeah, I do have that alpha dog syndrome. But how do I say it? Like, I went from being like a very prideful person to being like a shameless person, and now I'm trying to go back to being a prideful person. And I don't have as much, what do you call that? I want to say like maneuverability, or like pizzazz, or artistic touch to it as I used to. Because what it mostly just looks like is me being very like a lot of dark humor. And yeah, like my main role, or like one of my main pleasures in life is to make people smile, or give something that gives other people energy. Like that, at the end of the day, that's what it like looks like. Just some type of usefulness. When it came to Steven, like it'd mostly just be his like outside, but he'll just always look tired. And so I'm just like, okay, I need to get him to open up, or like things like that. But that's not what you guys want to see on that podcast. I want to keep it like trading related. And so that's going to be it's going to be fun. I also had my teeth like cleaned yesterday, and so everything's sore. Yeah. Okay, so where are you living? California. How many strategies have you developed outside of the 8 you teach in your courses? Okay. Ooh. Oh. Will he answer that? Yeah, he'll. Oh yeah. I can't wait to see his face. I just don't want to be laughing the entire time. Because that's how most of our conversations are. You're just like, ha 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 ha. Like what? Ha ha ha. Like evil guy laugh. Like the really loud one. Like, I want to come on there and just be like, Batman, I'll be Joker, and alpha dog syndrome. See, I won't even say I'm like alpha, because I'm not trying to one up him like consciously, but it's perceived that way a lot. Yeah, Steven's podcast with Jimmy was really good. Yeah, I really like the quality of it. At some level, I definitely felt like it was stealing from me, but I also know these were the questions that everyone actually wanted to hear. And there was stuff I wanted to hear in the early stages, but I didn't actually get to hear until like somewhere closer to the middle. And it was mostly through the past recorded Steven. And then after like I would hear something like that, then I would reaffirm it with the present Steven. And then he's like, yeah, you're starting to get it. Good job. And then like that confidence is like where I actually started to show some profits. And discipline. But I kind of killed that momentum when I tried to do my own thing. Let's see. It would also be fun to see the average Steven that is not always teaching. Yo, what up? Okay. Let's see if anything popped up. There. So I had some other questions. There we go. Do you see a correlation to time frame of the massive squeeze? I see higher odds of it after enter the time stamp. Yeah, that one's kind of specific. How to make substantial progress in earning. I want to say do more in preparation, do less in execution. No. Yeah, less is more. That's the only way I can really answer that without getting like too like deep into it. I wonder to see what he would say. So I have like 8 questions from other people, and they're credible people, like very good natured people. Let's go to the next one. How to approach the market from a long buyer's point of view. That'd be a pretty loaded question. Like that has hidden aspects to it. Like, cause you'll get to see, is he looking at it from the opposite of like a short position, or is he looking at it from like someone filled with like greed, impulses, and like stuff like that? Let's try. So glad that Steven started the podcast. Yeah. We've been thinking about it for a while, like changing the angle of the channel. We definitely wanted to play with it more. The thing is, like, we don't monetize like any of the YouTube channels and stuff, so it's really just a giving process. But in my case, I don't think I've refined everything to a point. And so, like to a point where I can. Okay, so I have a certain belief. I have to understand like my material like minimum 4 times before I can share like 1 point of that information. And like, you know, Steven, he has, you know, he's grandmaster. He has 100 times. And then like he gives out 1 point. You know what, Jimmy, like, I don't want to throw people under the bus. It's like, I know it's not like my tendency, but that's just how it comes off. But to me, it just feels honest. Yeah, but we're at the same level, like around like 2 times, 3 times. But you know, I don't know what he does that behind closed doors. He could actually be like the pig playing the tiger, or something like that. No, the tiger playing the pig. There's something else I was saying. Oh yeah, more questions. Where'd you go? What pattern was your most profitable setup? It was obviously that like $6 million trade, right? Okay, yeah. I want to see what he's gonna say, because there's a part where one's gonna be like first in that question you have to define what is a trade, what is profitable. Are you talking about like profitable in like one like buy and one execution, or like 1 day and stuff like that? So it's what I'm gonna focus on in this podcast is more of finding definitions, like finding some type of clarity, and not how he looks at it, but how he defines it. Because when I was watching like Jimmy's podcast, that kind of actually felt like me last year, in terms of what I was looking for in terms of like the trading mindset. I was more of thinking of everything as a recipe, like, in, you know, I like to bake, you know, back when I was in like high school, college area. The entire last year, I was just searching for ingredients, but I didn't know the order of the recipe. And then I was searching for the ingredients quality, like required, and then, you know, very few details. At the end of the day, going through most of the material you'll find in the Freedom Challenge, private information that he would tell me, and like, you know, all the DVDs, like several times, I would just come up with like hundreds of like pretty much bullet points, but I wouldn't have the correct order. And then when I tried to order it like myself, I can always feel there was something that I was still missing. And eventually I would have that be reviewed by Steven, and he'll just be like, wow, you have a lot here. Like, you know, too much for me to read in like one sitting, and like keep my focus kind of lot. Just condense this down, and then you got it. Now, sifting away the stuff that didn't like work in the long term, that was the hard part, because again, like, I'm a very prideful person, and so like admitting I'm wrong, admitting I'm like wrong in like any kind of way, it's always been like a little bit harder. And so that's why I just try not to like lie or do some other stuff in the first place, until I started learning more about psychology. And I'm just like, man, you can lie without lying consciously, and some other stuff. But main thing is, I want to see how he defines a lot of stuff, and I'm going to use those. What do the people call it? Like golden nuggets, and I'm gonna just shape down my big list of ingredients. I already have the quality down. I've already like gone back and forth a few times with him and other materials, trying to find the appropriate order. And at the end of the day, I know I can do it with like probably 3 patterns and then stay pretty profitable if I only focused on those 3 patterns. I feel like my issues are closer to behavioral issues or like execution, character issues, stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't want to make this podcast about me. I want to make it a conversation. Like, but I don't know if I can do that naturally by like talking with him like I normally do. Because whenever I talk to him, it kind of feels like stealing in a way. And like I don't want to steal from like the people I like. Because that's what happened to me. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's so like, I'm still thinking about that podcast. Oh well. Let's go to the next question. I know you said that this is okay. What pattern would you must do? I know you said that this is one of your accounts. How many times a day do you take a trade through all of your accounts? Also, what is your winning percentage? Okay. I want to see how he's going to answer that too. You should ask him about his studying strategies when he was first starting out. I'm sure you know, but the listeners would probably like that. That's true. Well, the thing is, with his studying habits, they were very extreme. Like extreme to the point that he's sick. And that's what I saw. Like my perception back then was only my buddy's sick. My buddy's lacking energy. I need to do something to offset the outcome of like whatever the hell he's doing. Like not gonna, of course I had to judge him a little bit, but like not going to mess up what he's doing. I just want to give him some type of support. I tried that for a little bit. And like it showed results. But it also wasn't very sustainable for me to be like working that hard. Like when I say hard, I'm talking about like 10 hours a day minimum. Like the amount of commitment to the point that you're obsessed and like it's life threatening. Like it, yeah. But like I could do it. I could definitely do it. But I wouldn't have fun. And if I don't have fun, I feel like it wouldn't be worth it unless I did it to a certain level. And I saw how long it took him to get to that level. And I wouldn't be me if I did that. Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm mostly driven by like fear mixed with discipline. But with him, it was like all discipline. And then the fear was like the fear of him not doing the things that would discipline him. Like he would take responsibility for everything. Like too much stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to go too much about it. Like the thing is, I can't really think about trading because I keep thinking about him. And then I don't want to make things worse. It's so like when I see this podcast, I'm just like, is this gonna make it worse? And I'm like, oh well, I'll get over it. Yeah, but you're right. I should ask him about the studying strategies about when he first started out. A lot of people would like to hear that. Does Steven make you pay to join his chat room? No. I pretty much I still work as the general manager which kind of feels like a, what do you call that? I know I put it in my description. Like pretty much whatever I learn, I just reaffirm it with the students. And then make sure they act their age. Because heaven knows I don't. Oh, work study. Yeah. Like when we go on vacations, we don't go on just a vacation. We go on a workcation. We definitely have to keep up the trading studies. We definitely have to get some things taken care of, like assistant work, manager work, trading, and just general life problems. So glad Steven started a podcast. Oh yeah. Oh, you said that already. Or someone said it. Steven, I worked hard on studying for 30 minutes. When? Lambo? See, that's the thing. You guys only see like I know that's a joke, but like most people out there, they actually only see the result. And the thing is, I saw the entire process. And so like I have a lot of fear of that process. Which, I'm not saying I'm that type of person that's just like afraid of everything. But to a certain extent, I am afraid of the pain that I like saw in him. And if I could like spread that out over like a longer period of time, I can't even see. I feel like I'm still not committed enough. Like I'm definitely like 3 to 5 times more committed than I was like early last year. But I'm not Steven level. Like I feel like I'm only like a fifth. Like I just worked myself up after like an entire year, only up to a fifth of his resolve and conviction. And but I also don't want to ask him like very general questions like, what is the bare minimum? Because I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum right now. And it's already making me not crazy. This is actually pretty fun. It's only a tiny bit harder while doing it in front of the audience. But he did it for 8-10 years. Or wait, no, I've known him that long. So yeah, he did it for at least 7 years. And so like I have legit no excuse. Like I have the guru, I have the capital, I have the time where I can make it. And I even have like a support system / chat and things like that. The only thing I don't have is the actual non-dead market. If this was something closer to, not 2020, it didn't even have to be like that. Just an older market. I want to see how I would have done. Because at the end of the day, you have to learn how to adapt. And if you haven't like caught on yet, I'm stubborn. Like stubborn to the point where I'm not saying it's my way or the highway, but I'm going to force it. And this is something that you're not supposed to force. It's more of like somewhere between like an art and a science. And then like, I would learn the science. And then the art, I go towards like reckless, impulsive art and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to find my balance. I'm definitely going to get there. Now, putting these into questions to where the people that actually relate to this in a podcast, though, that's what I'm talking to you guys. I would pay to see uncensored version of you guys on a podcast. Hindsight is always 2020. But when you look back at your early trading career, where are some lessons you feel you were vital for you to learn, both positive and negative? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a great question. I don't know if like you guys want me to answer this, or are you just telling me this so I could tell it to Steven? It's like I'm trying to like talk it out of you and just be like, oh, hey, here you go. This is what I think, and this is probably something you're gonna hear on the podcast. Taxes are so high in California. Could keep 5 to 15% more cash somewhere else. Why did Steven move to Cali? It's work related. So like we make trips all the time to Cali for a haircut. For yeah, mostly a haircut. But the YouTubers, the haircut, and there's a lot of good Asian food around. Like food was the biggest thing. It's hard going from not hard, because I don't want to use like strong words like hard, but it's funny going from like a place that looks like a paradise when you go to like pretty much just opposite natures. And so like you go to like Ohio or anything in the north, like Chicago, New York, and keep going more north, it gets colder, it gets darker, it gets dirtier, and like things like that. We came from Cincinnati, where it's not the most urban place. And I was a downtown kid. But when you go to LA, you see that like, it gives the same vibe, but it's on a bigger scale. There's a lot more people. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But when you go to like the richer areas, that's like the gap is something that I would never see. The quality of food, it would be something like I would never taste. And I'm just like, wow, the world is bigger than I thought. And we would always come back and forth like for Los Angeles. But again, it's always like a workation, or it's like something like that. And the only thing I would be able to enjoy is food. Because when it comes to like my personal taste, I wouldn't actually want to travel anywhere. If anything, I actually have a slight travel bug, and that only came from being with Steven. And then quarantine happened. As soon as I was like, let's go around the world. And yeah. Oh well. He said, better be a damn nice haircut. Cali does have so much food, but Florida and Texas, yeah, Florida was good too. Like the Hispanic and Mexican and Spanish food down there, like amazing. Like I have a lot of family down there, but the food. Well, I refined my diet to a point where I did it to give me like a slight edge in trading, like for control reasons or something. Like no cheese, not too much red meat, and things like that. But the best places where I did have all the comfort food, yeah, Florida, LA, like hands down. You go to New York, everything's like expensive. The noodles are good. But it's always the shops that like look the sketchiest. But I don't even know if it's chicken. But I need to stop. I'm not gonna talk about that. I can't speak for anyone but myself, but I love living in California. It's worth the price premium for me for 360 days of the sunshine. Yeah, it's a simulation. I'm still kind of catching up on that. I'm not saying I missed the snow, but it's easy access to just about anything I'm into shows. See, I feel like I can't fully give an accurate assessment because of I kind of want to just blame everything on Corona. K-Town represent. Brother, your trading is wild, LOL. What are you eating? So, a lot of Chipotle, a lot of Chick-fil-A, rice, oats, a lot of pills. Like, at one point I was eating like 60 pills a day for like a month just so I can do a deep cleanse of all my organs. And that's actually when I started, what do you call that? Like, running daily, drinking a lot more water, and that's when my profits start going up. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. But I feel like I'm doing the young Marines or like boot camp type things. And I understand that this is a lifestyle. And whenever I get into this lifestyle, I can hold it for like 4 weeks, like alone. I said 4 weeks. I can hold it like max 2 months alone. I never pushed it past that because I'll always get distracted or find something better later. And yeah, at the end of the day, I just wanted to see what actually worked and what didn't. And then I just started trading sideways. And so that's where the trading started getting wild. But at the end of the day, I know I can, just do one trade a week and then save up for that really ideal opportunity. And then, treat trading like a hobby, come out of retirement and like things like that. But when it comes to like these podcasts, or not podcasts, when it comes to like this streaming every day, and growing an account in front of you, to some level, I feel compelled to not only entertain, but also like trade. So I had to reevaluate my beliefs, like in a lot of ways. And so like that required like a lot of writing, a lot of reading and stuff like that. Now I'm good. So you should start seeing my trading not be as wild. But the thing is, I wanted to try all this crazy stuff now while I had a smaller account, so I can, not take really huge losses like later. What is it? I love Korean food. Pho, sushi. Yeah, pho is good. Sushi, yeah, that's also another daily, like sushi. And I have like a whole note on like nutrition, how to get above the 90%. Just having that, that little bit of detail. Like back to the, what do you call that? The metaphor where I mentioned like a recipe and how all last year was trying to find ingredients, hints of the order that you need for the ingredients, and then the quality. There's also details. Like those details are like what make the art, what make the personal touch onto the recipe that you make. And yeah, I wanted to create my own recipe. I didn't want to, just follow Steven's recipe. And that's where like, I could take a little pride in that, to where I'm just like, this is what I see, this is what I do. Like, I'm gonna shoot my shot, shoot my arrow, like here at this point of the opportunity. You were in the front part, I was in the last part. I kind of want to start asking those questions where it's like an ultimatum, to where he's just not he, but to where I'll be like, okay, let's say you have a sheep. The sheep just follows you the whole time. You give the sheep a month of following you, and he comes out with X amount of profit. And then you have a wolf that follows you, and he's doing his own thing, but he's also watching you and imitating you. And he has like a little less profits in the like short term. Over a month, who's gonna have the lead in terms of like profits? The sheep or the wolf? And like, okay. And then like, over a year, Okay, over 5 years. Okay, now which one is like self-sustainable and stuff like that? But putting that into a question that doesn't sound like I'm guiding him to a certain answer, that's the hard part. But what was I doing? Do you think 100K is enough to move to US and survive the first year trading? No. Well, I have a lot of family that have done it on, like 5 times less minimum, like probably 8 times less. So yeah, it is possible, but it would be very hard and unhappy. And well, if you live alone, it'll be fine. But there'd have to be a lot of willing. Yeah. I still wouldn't recommend it. I'd still say, like, keep your job, learn trading over time, and stuff like that. Only do something when you can afford it twice. That's like another rule I have. And so, like, when I share like honest opinions and stuff with you, I only could do that is just because I had like minimum twice the reflecting. And then when it comes to like, teaching something well, I need minimum 4 times that. But I forgot what I was to say. See, focus is another issue of mine. So Cali has it all. You need to hit the mountains for snow if you want. Yeah, I want to go hiking soon. I'm done trading for a couple hours, workout, then just stay at home all day 90% of the time. What do you guys do? Okay, yeah. Let me take that question too. It's like, we're gonna say some wild stuff. All right. But if you didn't get a question to me today, I'll be here tomorrow. And the way the market's going now, let me also double check, see if anything popped up. I don't want a warrant, and I want something at 20%. So that's a no. Yeah. Let me ask these last few ones. Here in LA, I feel like a fat slob. Yeah, me too. Like, it's so easy for me to just DoorDash something. When I go home to Tennessee to visit, I feel athletic. It's amazing what a change in venue can do to your self-image. Yeah, that's a big thing. When I look back at people from Cincinnati, like, I'm not saying they look dirty or their skin looks unhealthy or their teeth look. Yeah, see, I just tend to be brutal honest. But I could definitely see like a little bit of a difference. And I kind of already knew that when I saw my friend who moved here during college, and then when he came back. But I didn't understand like efficiency or quality difference to like that magnitude. And man, at the end of the day, I could have had the same results back in Cincinnati if I did the research, but I didn't understand how naive and ignorant I actually was. But we're gonna leave it at that. Last one. Doesn't that depend on what your goals are? Yeah, that's another thing. Belief, values, and standards and things like that. If you don't want to impress anybody, if you don't want to, make $1 million, if you don't want to, if you don't want to stay in your current situation, you want to move to America, have the freedom that you want, the freedom to like reach for your goals and like start somewhere, and then eventually at least have the option to build from that. I'd start with like kindergarten size goals and then work my way up to it. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to have some type of direction, and the goal is just the general direction. And then there's going to have to be like, you know, small directions to get to that point. So other than that, I'm going to try to make that last point into like some type of, how did you narrow down your goals in kind of question. Other than that, Happy New Year, everyone, or Happy Lunar New Year. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Thank you.